there was a video that I wanted to watch because apparently I'm featured in it. It's called The Great Buyout. But my understanding is this video is about private equity buying YouTube channels. So just to be clear, I have been bought by Bain Capital. This stream has been wholly owned by private equity for over a year now. I'm an employee on the clock, and they paid me a multi-million-dollar payout. You think I wanted to talk about Dan Clancyville? I've been forced to by Bain Capital.
If you spend long enough on YouTube, there's now a very good chance that a substantial share of your watch time is going to channels partially or fully owned by private equity.
No, but the reason I say that is like, why am I mentioning this video? I haven't been bought by private equity. I didn't even know about this. I'm interested in what context I'm going to be mentioning in this video. Veritasium's owned by private equity? Fern is owned by private equity?
Colin and Samir, The Theorist, and Dude Perfect have also all partially or completely.
Dude Perfect is owned by private equity? No! They were the one I believed in! You're telling me they're doing these trick shots for money? It's not about the love of the game for them anymore? They're just clocking in?
It's easy to say that private equity is just inherently bad. And to be fair, it's had some problems. But that shouldn't be enough by itself. Instead, what you should know is why private equity firms have suddenly become so interested in YouTube channels.
Are you telling me I can get bought out? What's the price, Bain Capital? What's the price? It's crazy because I would have said prior to this, I think I've heard of this. I heard about this through also not bought out Jarvis, who told me there was people offering. Jarvis told me he got these crazy offers from like startups and stuff that were trying to do that. I guess my interest is like why someone like a Dude Perfect or I don't think a Mr. Beast has done this, but someone that big, you already have such a cash geyser from the ads. You don't need the upfront money. You lose ownership. I guess just to make a big cash out right now and be safe for the future, I guess.
A lot of medium-sized creators barely scrape by, paying themselves fairly modestly.
Not to go too into it, but this is why I run a tight, lean ship, bro. I'm always scared of I should pay a bunch of money for big productions or whatever. The way I run my content and my employees and my team, it's like impossible to wipe us out. We're cockroaches, bro. I could have 6 bad months. We haven't uploaded on the main channel in a long time. Everyone's still getting paid, bro. All the editors for the main channel still get paid. And it's not stressing me out, because everything is like, we've got it all. If I had a much bigger team or I had a sales guy this would be so much harder and I wouldn't be able to just play Age of Empires. To be honest, for real. I think it gives me a lot of freedom and it keeps a lot of safety, and I'm very happy with it. I talk to other YouTubers and I hear about they have like assistants. Listen, I'm just saying, there's YouTubers that have fewer subscribers than me on Twitch and fewer YouTubers that have like multiple assistants, 2 or 3. I have 0. Ludwig has way more than me. Ludwig little broed me so hard. Slime was pocket watching me, asking how much money I make on YouTube. So I told him, and he was like, wow, that's a high number. And then he asked Ludwig, how much do you think Aatrox makes? Just leaking my shit, by the way, are they? And then Ludwig guessed the number that was double my number. And I was like, what the you think I make that much? That's crazy. He guessed such an absurd number. People I talk to have such big staffs. You know, this is not a business that, first of all, I think runs forever. And then secondly, that you should be running, this is like, if you do it right, the highest margin business around, dude. You can sit in your room and talk and make money off that. The cost should be nothing. Not even me as an example. Let's use Northern Lion. Northern Lion's costs are like 0. It's the food to keep him alive. And he's printing cash. It's just funny to me that people found a way to make it money losing.
These operations are incredibly risky, even by small to medium business standards. Most of them depend on a single platform for the majority of their revenue, and these platforms can ban, restrict, or moderate their content overnight, often with little to no explanation.
I think I have this less because I do like daily uploads for Big A, and when we were doing the main channel, we used to do daily. So it's like if one of them gets demonetized, it's like not the end of the world. But like, especially for the Aatrox main channel now, like if I do like the Tesla marketing video or whatever, and that gets demonetized, then we actually would have a tough time paying everybody. That would be tough, because that was 3 editors working on that, and it's a big video and it was the big project, and that getting a video demonetized, it can really wipe out all your work. I mean, yeah, that's the most thing I hear people complain about.
Typically, the wealthy investors and lenders that give money to private equity firms for them to make their acquisitions would be scared away by these business fundamentals. But over the past 5 years, a few things have changed which kicked off the great buy-up. The first major change was that creators demonstrated their ability to scale their own brands to generate profits beyond sponsored segments, audience donations, and integrated platforms.
I would say, I mean, when all said and done, it's going to be crazy if Prime ends up losing money. Because I was looking into it and their UK sales are way down after the hype is over. I haven't seen the American sales, but their UK sales are way down. And they put so much money into the marketing and the stunts and the branding that they didn't even get to earn profits on the hype period. So if they only were able to get buzz by spending a ton of money, and then when the money stops spending, they don't make any money, the whole thing ends up being a flop. It's going to be crazy, dude. I think they might have it.
Even if Beast Burger and Prime Energy completely implode, they were a test case that showed that real brands can be launched through clowns on the internet. If that initial success could be paired with a private equity team that actually knew how to run a business, theoretically, then there would be some real money to be made.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Wall Street. You fat cats up in your ivory towers. None of you can sell $35 Enron hats better than me. There's heart and there's soul in this. There's a human spirit. You take a hat, you sell it at a high price. It's a real business. It's farm to table, and there's no way they can do it.
A lot of people would rather operate their own YouTube channel over working on something like an old school TV show. Investors in these companies are worried about these threats, and they're putting pressure on company leadership to do something about it.
Bob Iger should become a YouTuber to save Disney. I want to see Bob Iger doing Mr. Beast style challenges on the Disney YouTube channel to try and win the kids back over. The last Pixar movie was a flop. Vlog Iger. Yeah, that would be great. Hey guys, Bob here. That's awesome. Yeah, give them a VTuber Mickey Mouse avatar. Do what they have to do.
Think about it. Other legacy companies have started taking a simpler approach. If you can't beat them, buy them. Even if the business case is not that strong, a company like Disney giving a few $1 million to a private equity firm that specializes in acquiring YouTube channels lets their executives say that they are prepared for the threats that new media presents.
It's actually not that crazy. If these channels are already selling, Disney just buying out a ton of them, Disney buying Mr. Beast is not crazy. It's actually not crazy at all. That's actually an interesting thing to own.
Before around 2020, old school media companies were still going about this in their own old school way. They would invest in traditional companies that just happened to have a new media digital first focus. These were terrible businesses. They would burn cash, and they were much more expensive to acquire in the first place. Vice Media was once valued at over $5.5 billion. That's an unreasonable valuation for an organization that primarily distributed through a YouTube channel and a Facebook page.
Yeah.
These are pages that get similar monthly viewership to Atriox's daily clips channel. Now, clearly these are not the same thing, but one...
Holy shit, that's the best way I could have been mentioned. That's the best way I could. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's actually what I'm talking about, dude. That's me eating gummies and thinking I'm high, and I'm mogging BuzzFeed. That's what I'm saying, dude. I sit in my room and I talk about it, and I don't have 800 writers or staff or cameramen or office space. You know, you get the same, or even if you get less. The chance of me going broke off it or up is so small because my costs are so low. I just keep them so crazy low. My hairline looking pretty up there. Well, this is 4 years ago, so it's worse now. Thanks for bringing it up.
One is obviously much cheaper to operate than the other, on top of being generally more advertiser friendly.
I think what this guy's saying is that I'm worth $5.5 billion to the market, and Bain Capital, I will sell for that price. That's my number, 5.5 billion, and I will walk. And I think handshake deal, okay? But I'll say one more thing, because we're talking about my viewership. Listen, I think the Big Egg Clips channel has done incredibly well, and it's really awesome. And it's cool that people have had part of their routine, and I can be a source of news for people. But one thing I've noticed, and I've talked to other YouTubers about this, is my subscribers are shockingly low for my viewers. And I legitimately think people that watch Big A just want to steal the stuff in it, but not subscribe. Like, they don't want... It's like they want to, I don't know. They just want it to be hidden. I swear to God, I feel like I have the lowest subscribe through rating. The daily viewership is like equal to the subscribers. Nobody uses Subbucks anymore. People say that, but then plenty of new channels have subscriber growth. But then I also can't lie. I don't subscribe to like almost any channels. Like I've been watching a lot of Hera. I'm not subscribed to him. I've been watching a lot of Gotham Chess. I'm not subscribed to him. I guess it's just a habit. You know, people just don't use it. It's like people just trust their algo. I should subscribe, and I will, I guess, now that I've said it out loud. But like, I can see why people don't use it.
According to public releases, the biggest firms in the YouTube space have collectively raised about $2 billion and borrowed an additional $2 billion on top of that. So it's still quite a small part of the overall private equity market, but that's still more than.
If I was private equity, I would buy all of these channels. I would buy the Skibbity Toilet Reacts. I would buy, that's guaranteed cash printing, and you could do that forever because there's always going to be dumb kids. I feel like, you talked about it in the beginning, but it feels like the risk is so high buying a channel like Marcus Brownlee or something. Like, they're so personality focused. If that person ever leaves or gets tired or stops putting in the effort they were putting in, the channel dies. Or Adrian, you couldn't buy my channel because the second I got the payout, I'd be like, all right, well, I can take it easy. Like any video I feel really proud of, I have to stress about it. There's not a video I made that I'm proud of where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You have to put a little work in. Yeah, you go myth. You do what myth did. You take the paycheck and you chill. You do whatever you want. So I just don't see the business case unless it was something so reproducible like this. Like this already is slop. Nobody making this is passionate about it.
Ultimately, what this means for you is that the content you watch is going to become more generic and safe within the parameters of what will optimize retention.
Mojo? Wait, I'm sorry. As opposed to like the edgy, real, raw Watch Mojo of the past? Is there a drastic difference in Watch Mojo quality? It feels like it's always been slop.
Since Veritasium isn't actually Derek's business anymore, there's nothing to stop him restarting a new channel from scratch or just retiring, since presumably he made millions of dollars from the acquisition in the first place. For other channels, this is all.
I mean, I assume as part of the deal, he had to stay on for at least a certain number of years. There's no way they just gave him the money and said, you could just leave now. That would not happen. But I assume after those years are up, yeah, he could just walk or start a different channel.
If you search "why I left" blank in the YouTube search bar, there are endless videos from former personalities behind big channels talking about why they're suddenly showing up on a completely new channel. A common theme among most of them is that it wasn't their channel anymore. Most of these splits seem pretty amicable, often with the old channel commenting words of support under the video itself. But obviously, this is still a real problem behind the scenes. After losing their host, a lot of these channels have suffered from reduced viewership, and people are far less likely to directly support channels.
Wait, I'm sorry. This sounds like the ultimate scam. This sounds incredible. I can find some dumb private equity. I could sell this channel for millions of dollars. I could serve out whatever contract I do, and then I just start Bigger A or something. All my viewers move over and I cashed out. That's actually just an unreal business. Please don't put this in a clip. Interesting video. I liked it. Is that a new YouTuber or do I not know them?
So I can get a
Micro, a new YouTuber probably trying to get acquired. There's a lot of these channels popping up. It's a tough business to be in though. I think they're doing pretty good, but that one was good. That was a good video.